If you're an international student, especially from the UK, applying to US colleges, I want you to hear this. Your essay is not just a writing task. It's your biggest opportunity to stand out, even if your grades and test scores aren't perfect. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to approach the US college essay strategically, what most international students get wrong, and how to tell your story in a way that admissions officers remember. Hi, I'm Shae. I'm a PhD candidate at Harvard, and I've spent over 10 years studying, working, and teaching at Harvard in Chicago. Okay, so this video is especially for international students who are serious about US admissions. I always tell my clients my coaching style is results driven. There are so many things we cannot control in the admissions process, but for what is up to us and our clients, I try my best, and I want you to try yours to do everything possible to succeed and to show the admissions officers that you deserve a spot at these universities. I tell people this all the time. Studying at the University of Chicago, studying at Harvard completely changed my life. I want it to change yours too. Let's get started. First, let's cover why the US college essay is so different. Let's be honest. Many international students are excellent academic writers, but the US college essay, it's not about how well you can analyze Macbeth or solve a math problem. It's about who you are. What admissions officers are looking for is, number one, your voice. Number two, your perspective. And number three, your ability to reflect. Most students from exam-driven systems like the UK or IB programs write essays that sound like this. For example, serving as head prefect taught me valuable skills in leadership and teamwork. Now, there's nothing wrong with that sentence, but it doesn't show us anything. It's vague, it's safe, it's forgettable. Here's a stronger version. The first time I had to discipline someone I knew personally, I hesitated. Then realized leadership meant doing the hard thing, not the popular one. Now that's a moment. It's specific, it's emotional, it's human. If you're finding this helpful so far, be sure to share this link with someone, whether it's a teacher, your fellow student, or a friend, or even a counselor. I am putting so much information into this video to help you start on the pathway to the Ivies or whatever top elite university you want to attend. So now we're going to talk about what US admissions officers actually want to see. Here's a question I get a lot from my UK and international clients. What should I even write about? This is the most common question I get. Here's the truth. There is no magic topic, but there is a magic formula. And it's as simple as this. Take something true and reflect on it deeply. Here are just a few story types that work especially well for international students. The first one is cross-cultural curiosity. Here's an example. It's like a student raised between France and Nigeria who wrote about learning to cook jollof rice with her grandmother over WhatsApp and discovering it was an act of preservation, not just food. The second is problem solvers without privilege. For example, a student from Delhi who started tutoring local kids using her mobile hotspot because she couldn't afford a classroom. And number three, passion that doesn't match the resume. For example, a high-achieving science student in the UK who wrote about drawing manga to process stress and why art kept her going when test scores couldn't. I'm giving you real examples of clients who have told me phenomenal stories in their personal statements. As we shaped their personal statements, I noticed that there was just one element that they reflected on deeply, and we made sure that that narrative was covered in their entire essay. Admissions officers want to know who you are, how you're growing, and the kind of person you once were and are now becoming. They want interesting people that are going to be on their campus. So I want you to get good at this and to get good at this quickly. Admissions officers remember specificity, not status. The more your story feels, the better. If you've worked with me before, you know my coaching style is very blunt. I want you to leave everything on the court so that you have the best chances of getting in. There are a lot of things that are outside of your control in this process. You are competing against thousands of students from not just in the United States, but across the world. So what is in your control, you better control it well and with the best of your ability. I believe in you. If you're following, comment, count me in. I'm ready to go. Now we're going to cover a quick word for parents and teachers because I know there's a broad spectrum of people who reach out to me. Now, if you're watching this as a parent, guardian, or educator, your student needs more than just technical help. They need someone who encourages reflection, not just perfection. The U.S. application asks students to tell stories, to think out loud on paper, and to show growth. Here are 3 great questions to ask your student. Number 1, what's something you've done that scared you and you did it anyway? Number 2, what's a belief you've changed your mind about? Number 3, what's a moment you felt proud of, even if no one else noticed? These are the type of questions that are going to help your student reflect deeply and tell a very compelling story in their application. We're going to cover the number 1 mistake international students make and how to avoid it. Here's the mistake I have seen over and over and over again. They confuse achievements with stories. Let me explain. A strong essay isn't a brag list. It's not a resume in paragraph form. It's a reflection with shape and meaning and a personal arc. Let me give you 3 quick examples that work better than just listing accomplishments out. So, one person may say, I won the regional math Olympiad and led our school team to nationals. How about you try this instead? I froze halfway through the final round. I saw the mistake and I fixed it in time. That moment taught me I didn't need to be perfect, just present. See the difference? Okay, let's go to the next example. Instead of this, I volunteered at a hospital every week for a year. Try this instead. I remember the day a young patient asked if I'd stay while she got stitches. I didn't feel useful, but I learned presence is service. Memorable, right? Okay, let me give you one more example. Here's the next one. Instead of this, I started a tutoring program to help underserved students. Try this instead. At first, no one showed up. I almost quit. Then, one girl returned and brought her brother. That was the start of something amazing. Can you tell the difference? The difference is in the storytelling, not just the activity. When I was a teaching fellow at Harvard, I always told my undergraduate students, give me as much detail as possible in your essays. We can cut out what's unnecessary later. I always say, do the work up front and then trim the excess later. I want you to take the same approach to writing your essays for college applications this fall. So let's go over a proven framework that actually works. So now you're probably wondering, how do I actually structure my essay? Well, there's a 4-point story framework I teach to all of my students, and it works across backgrounds and experiences. Let me show you this in practice in a short video, and then I'll break down the 4-point format. I'm 17 years old and I'm about to walk into a secure government facility without my ID. I run back out to the car and I see my mom smiling with her hand outside of the passenger window with my ID. I take it and I run back into the lobby, and as soon as I enter the lobby, I see a woman right in front of me and she taps her ID and I tap my ID, and then she turns around and she looks at me and she says, "Do you attend Harvard?" I said, well, no, I wish, but I'm currently an incoming senior in the local high school and I do research here at the National Institute of Health. And she says, that's so wonderful. I'm the director of the institute. She then says, here's my card, let's chat. I run to my lab, do my experiments, and then head to her office for an afternoon chat. As soon as I sat down, she said, I graduated from Columbia Medical School, and the second I saw your Harvard t-shirt, my little raggedy Forever 21 crayon written Harvard t-shirt, I said, wow, another Ivy League grad. As I sat in her office for 2 hours, she gave me life advice that would take decades to obtain. As soon as I left, I had a full game plan. And guess what? By the end of that summer internship, I presented my research to the entire National Institute of Health. A few months later, I would get a first author scholarly publication for my research on neurological pathways. I didn't end up going to Harvard for undergrad, but now I'm a PhD candidate at Harvard. Success is when opportunity meets preparation. When I entered the director of the National Institute of Health's office, I had a list of questions ready to ask her because I had been looking for a mentor all summer. So my question for you is, are you prepared for your next opportunity? Here is the 4-point framework. The first is the hook. Drop us in a moment and make us feel something. Immediately in the video I just showed you, I tell you and show you the frustration of being a teen in a secure government facility about to make a huge mistake. Number 2, the turn. Show what challenge or choice you faced. In the video, I tell you about how I run back to my mom's car to get the ID, and then the challenge or the turn of encountering the director of the institute and taking and seizing that opportunity right away. Third is the reflection. How did this event, person, thing you're talking about shape your values, goals, or worldview? In the video, you see that I then reflect on my experience of talking with the director and how I had been looking for a mentor all summer, and it changed the trajectory of my entire summer and it eventually led to a peer-reviewed publication at Just. The fourth is what I like to call the echo. End with a return to the opening moment or a major takeaway to leave with the reader. In the video I showed you, I returned to the opening moment by leaving you with the question, are you ready for your next opportunity? When I started off the video, I was not ready. I left my ID in the car, but I left you with a major takeaway. I had a scholarly publication and I set myself on the path of a phenomenal academic career. So just to make it extra clear, here is another example. Imagine a student who grew up constantly moving because of their parents' job. Here's the hook. You describe packing a suitcase. Again, third move in 2 years. The turn. You struggle to make friends, but join a Model UN club that changes everything. The reflection. You realize diplomacy isn't just for conferences. It helped you survive real life. And finally, the echo. You're now leading your school's international student orientation and welcoming others the way you once needed. That's a full arc with vulnerability and growth. And that's what makes essays work. So, if you're serious about applying to college in the US, you deserve support that actually gets your context, and I'm here to help. Drop a comment and let me know what story you're thinking of writing. I'm on a mission to impact at least 1 million people over the next 2 years. So like and share this video with a friend, parent, or teacher, or whoever needs to see it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, especially if you're an international student. You've got this. You do not have to figure it out alone. I say this all the time. Harvard and the University of Chicago completely changed my life, and I believe it can change yours too. But first, you have to apply. All right, see you guys.